Hi and welcome to the short game area here at the Forest of Arden. My name is Chris Ryan, and in this video we're talking about a short pitch shot, but more importantly we're talking about how you can read the lie and what your options are when you're faced with a lie which isn't maybe quite as good as we would like. Just before we get into the video, in the corner of the screen you should have the details for my social media platforms, so if you don't already then please go ahead and follow me on those. So we're talking about shots from relatively close to the green, but when we're in a situation where the lie isn't maybe quite as good as we'd like it to be. If we have a good lie, we basically have all options available to us. We can hit that ball pretty high, pretty low, mid-flight, and if we have short grass we can often control the spin rate if we are maybe an elite golfer. When the lie is poor, so either it's maybe sat in a slight depression or maybe the grass is a lot longer and it's sat right at the bottom, sometimes we don't get all those options available to us. We're going to go through two shot options that you can play and talking through the benefits of them. So as you can see, the lie that I've got here is not great. It's sitting down a little bit, and really what we'd like to do to really guarantee the contact and hit the shot out the middle of the golf field, we'd like to steepen the club's approach to the ball. Now there's really three things that we can do which is going to help that happen. The first thing we'd like to do would be to stand a little bit closer to the golf ball and raise the handle up as we do that. What this will do is it will create a swing plane which is a little bit steeper. Again, what that's trying to do is it's trying to steepen the approach into the ball. So just standing a little closer, raising the handle a little higher, will actually cause the club to be a little bit steeper. The added bonus to that is we often get a little bit less contact with the club and the ground, and that's going to help the club move through the grass if the situation is that there is long grass around the golf ball. The second thing we'd like to do is maybe stand a little bit forward of the golf ball, so your sternum is in front of the ball, and then take the handle forward as well. What that's going to do is it's going to cause you to be in the starting position with a little bit more lean forward of the shaft, and again this is going to create that steeper approach to the ball. The last thing we would like to do is in this motion have a little bit of set of the wrists. A little bit of set of the wrist is going to cause the club head to go up a little quicker, and then as we start to uncock those wrists we're going to send that club a little bit more down into the ball. So those three things are really going to steepen the approach to the golf ball. This is absolutely key if that lie is poor. Now, what those three things also mean is that the flight is going to be a lot lower. So the things that steepen the approach will also lower the flight. So let me go ahead and hit a shot. So there's my normal sort of starting position if you like. I'm going to raise the handle up and walk a little closer. Move the handle forwards and walk forwards. And in the motion I'm going to have a little bit of wrist set, which is going to cause the approach to be much steeper. Okay, and you can see that was a much lower ball flight, landed just on the front of the green, and it ran, you know, a good 20 feet. So that's the safest way to play it. Now what happens if we're in the same situation, so the lie is poor, so we really need to do those three things to steepen the approach, but we don't require that lower ball flight, we require a higher ball flight. Well, contrary to what we just said there, the things that make the ball go higher often create the approach which is shallower. And that's really what we're trying to avoid here. So basically, if you wanted that ball to go a little higher, we could do the three things that we've just said. So we could raise the handle, walk forwards, use a bit of wrists, but we could actually rotate the club a little bit at the setup and actually set the golf club with a little bit more dynamic loft. What that's going to do is it's going to mean that we've got the elements in our swing which cause a steeper approach, which is going to hopefully guarantee the strike. But by setting the golf club at the setup with a little bit more loft, we can sort of counteract those things a little bit and create a shot which has maybe got a little bit more of a mid-flight. The good thing with strike is that it doesn't change the approach, and that's really key. So we maintain the approach angle, but a little bit more dynamic loft allows us to hit this ball a little bit higher. So let's go through same setup, but I've got a little bit more loft on the golf club at setup. Do the same sort of technique, and we should see this ball pop out a little higher. And you can see there, got a little bit more elevation, landed it in about the same spot, however the ball hasn't rolled quite as far. So if you find yourselves around the green, the lie is poor, the key thing really to take away is that we ideally need to steepen the approach to the golf ball. If you can play a shot with a lower flight, and that's applicable to that shot, fantastic. If you need a little bit more elevation, Let's do the things that steepen the approach, which guarantees a strike, but let's give the club a little bit more dynamic loft. That's going to counteract those things. It's going to fly a little higher, and it's going to help you get a little bit closer to those flags, which are maybe a little bit more difficult on the green. Thanks for watching. Hopefully those are things that you can practically take to the golf course and help you get up and down more often. It's certainly going to tidy up your scorecard and lower your scores. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like the video, click the like button. Any comments you've got, you should say, you can post those in the boxes down below. And last thing, if you don't already, please subscribe to the channel. There is a link in the description box down below. It's absolutely free. Loads of content on my channel already, and loads more being up weekly. Thank you again for watching, and hopefully we'll see you.